Welcome to our channel. Today, we're exploring the timeless wisdom of Jataka tales. These ancient stories are more than just folk tales, they're life lessons. This story was told by the Master Buddha while at Jetavana monastery about the temptation caused to brethren monks by the wives of their mundane life. This will be told in the Indriya-jataka in the 8th book. Said the Lord Buddha to the brother monk, "Brother, it was because of this very woman that in past days you met your death and were roasted over glowing embers." The brethren asked the Lord Buddha to explain this. The Lord Buddha made clear what had been concealed from them by rebirth. From now on we shall omit the words respecting the brethren's request for an explanation and the making clear what had been concealed by rebirth, and we shall only say told this story of the past. When only this is said, all the rest is to be supplied and repeated as above, the request, the simile of setting free the moon from the clouds, and the making clear what had been concealed by rebirth. Once upon a time in the kingdom of Magadha the king was reigning in Rajgraya city, and when the crops were grown the deer were exposed to great perils, so that they retired to the forest. Now a certain mountain stag of the forest, having become attached to a doe who came from near a village, was moved by his love for her to accompany her when the deer returned home from the forest. Said she, "You, sir, are but a simple stag of the forest, and the neighborhood of villages is troubled with peril and danger. So don't come down with us." When they knew that it was the time for the deer to come down from the hills, the Magadha folk placed themselves in ambush by the road, and a hunter was lying in wait just by the road along which the pair were traveling. Scenting a man, the young doe suspected that a hunter was in ambush, and let the stag go on first, following herself at some distance. With a single arrow the hunter laid the stag low, and the doe seeing him struck was off like the wind. Then that hunter came on from his hiding place and skinned the stag, and lighting a fire cooked the sweet flesh over the embers. Having eaten and drunk, he took off home the remainder of the bleeding carcass on his carrying pole to feed his children. Now in those clays the Bodhisattva was a fairy living in that very grove of trees, and he noticed what had come to pass. It was not father or mother, but passion alone that destroyed this foolish deer. The dawn of passion is bliss, but its end is sorrow and suffering, the painful loss of hands, and the misery of the 5 forms of bonds and blows. To cause another's death is accounted condemnation in this world. Condemned too is the land which owns a woman's sway and rule, and condemned are the men who yield themselves to women's dominion. And with that, while the other fairies of the wood applauded and offered perfumes and flowers and the like in an act of homage, the Bodhisattva wove the 3 condemnations into a single stanza, and made the wood re-echo with his sweet tones as he taught the truth in these lines: "Cursed be the dart of love that works men pain. Cursed be the land where women rule supreme. And cursed the fool that bows to woman's sway." Thus in a single stanza were the 3 condemnations comprised by the Bodhisattva, and the woods re-echoed as he taught the truth with all the mastery and grace of a Buddha. His lesson ended, the master preached the 4 truths, at the close of which the love-sick brother monk was established in the fruit of the first path trance. Having told the 2 stories, the master explained the relation linking the 2 together, and identified the birth. Henceforth, we shall omit the words having told the 2 stories, and simply say explain the relation. The words omitted are to be supplied as before. "In those days," said the master, "the love-sick brother monk was the mountain stag, his mundane wife was the young doe, and I was myself the fairy who preached the truth showing the sin of passion." If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more content that inspires and uplifts. And remember, these stories are meant to be shared, because wisdom grows when it's passed on.